I am a game developer who's created hundreds of different games, but I have never made a speedrunning game. There are tons of amazing speedrunning games in the world, and today I decided to one-up them all. This is the story of how I tried, and very nearly failed, to make the ultimate speedrunning game, a game so hard that you lose to your opponent in single player. The concept is simple. The player has to use basic platformer movement to complete a small level as fast as possible. Once you complete it, your time is logged and you play it again. Every time you complete it faster than you did before, the level restarts, but if you ever take longer to finish the level than you did previously, it's game over. The player also has some special abilities which I'll discuss later. Now it's time to start development. The first thing I did was create player movement, which I fine-tuned so it would feel fast-paced and responsive. Next, I jumped into art. I created a tile set and a player in this minimalist style that utilizes neon colors and tons of bloom. I also created some synths and used them to make this song, which I really feel fits the game's style, and added sound effects. I tried the game out in a test level and was pleasantly surprised by how fun it was. Now it's time to set up the special abilities I mentioned earlier. You see, if all the player could do was run and jump, the game wouldn't be interesting. Every speedrun would be the same. So I designed 3 abilities for you to choose from. The first one lets you reverse gravity. The second one can be used only once per run and boosts you forward until a wall blocks you. The last one can be held down to gain a speed boost but have much stronger gravity. These 3 abilities are the secret to the game's success. They're simple enough to keep from overcomplicating the game, but have so much flexibility that they dramatically raise the skill ceiling. I created some menus to choose the level and an ability, and the development was going well, or so I thought. It was when I tried adding the HUD that everything unraveled. Put simply, the way I normally create an HUD is by connecting it to the player so it follows you through the level. Unfortunately, this means that the UI moves relative to the camera, which looks really bad. I've tried for years to resolve this issue and I've never been able to figure it out. After hours of searching, none of the solutions I found online had worked, even though everyone else seemed to have figured it out. I just didn't understand what was wrong, and there was seemingly no way to fix it. I nearly gave up altogether and cancelled the project, but at the last minute I tried separating the HUD from the player, putting it on a new layer unaffected by the camera's movement. It worked. With what I thought would be my only major issue resolved, I could now build an ending screen and finish the game loop. This was basically a bunch of boring UI design, although in the process I created the game's scoring system. On the first run, the player gets an initial score based on their time. For every run the player completes after that, they gain 10 points, which puts emphasis on the torturous mechanic of requiring the player to improve or die. Since the game loop is complete, it's now possible for me to design the levels. One of the advantages of having such a simple game consisting of just the player and the walls was supposed to be that the level design would be extremely easy. For level 1, this was true. I made a series of interesting obstacles and they all worked well. But by the end, it was clear to me that there was no way I would be able to achieve my goal of 5 unique levels with only these mechanics. The obvious solution was, of course, to add more mechanics. I now present to you the Particles of Death. If the player touches the particles, they'll get a penalty to their speed, which will slowly go away. The more particles you touch at once, the slower you'll be. Using this new element, I managed to design level 2 with mostly new obstacles, but by the end of this, I was worried. Even with this new element, I could tell that making the next 3 levels was going to be a nightmare. For the next half week, I worked day and night to create unique and fun levels, chaining myself down to keep from giving in and adding new mechanics. I had gone into this project with the idea that a simpler speedrunning game would be better, and I wasn't about to give up on that dream. But it was hard. It felt like all the good challenges had been used in the previous levels. I tried making new obstacles, but whenever I did, they were ruined by the reverse gravity ability. Since the obstacles are built based on jumping, any player who wished could simply skip all the challenges by walking on the ceiling, and the level was too short and the jump too high for me to design separate obstacles for the roof without messing up the normal ones. Eventually, after days of work, I finished levels 3 and 4. By now, I had lost all my will to go on. I wanted to make a good finale in level 5, but I simply couldn't go about it the way I had before. So instead, I made level 5 into a fusion level, combining all the best parts of the previous 4 levels into one speedrunning masterpiece. With the project complete, I pressed play. The game was done, and it was fun. Everyone who played it liked it, and I had scratched another project off my endless list. If you'd like to play the game for yourself, there's a link in the pinned comment, and if you thought this video was good, just wait until you see how I created a horror game that can read your mind.